Well, hey there, everybody. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. It's a spectacular day here in South Alabama, and I'm just getting work done. A little bit late shooting the video today. It's, good Lord, it's 10 after 2 in the afternoon. I usually do my videos in the morning, but I was working on some t-shirt stuff, so we will do it now. Today I want to talk about the raw food diet and juicing, just my thoughts on the subject. Once again, I want you to hear that. My opinion, my thoughts. I'm no authority. So anyhow, I'd really appreciate if you haven't already done it, go down there and hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell. Yep, that little bell. Then check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Man, I get questions all the time. I get comments all the time. People are constantly asking me something about juicing, and I'm like, well, you're coming to the wrong guy. You know, like I give you advice on everything. Find somebody that does what you're interested in. Find somebody that has experience. I mean, you know, except for a little bit of dabbling, my experience is very much just, I don't have a lot of experience with the juice. So, you know, your mileage will vary if you talk to somebody that's had a little bit more experience. And then I do get, every once in a while I'll mention juicing in a video, or I'll mention juicing on social media. And I get the feel that from what I say, people think I'm dissing juicing or saying it's ridiculous or you shouldn't do it or whatever. I don't juice. I don't juice. There's benefits to it, and also too, I'm sure people out there right now, your little fingers are getting ready to type so you can give me a nice little lecture on all the stuff about juicing. I know about juicing, folks. I know about stuff. I've read this book. I've read a number of books on juicing. The juice thing for me is it's just not the holy grail. And I might be just kind of a little bit put off by it, because when I first got into this lifestyle, it was, I just saw some of the juice people, and it was just too damn culty. Like they were always drinking juice, and it's juice, juice, juice. Their whole freaking life revolved around juice. And in the beginning, I did a lot of juicing. I would say that first 3-month period, 3 to 6 month period that I was vegan, raw vegan, that was a huge part, and it just took up so much time to get the stuff every day, to prepare the stuff every day, to make the juice every day, and then to clean the damn machine. It's just like I got priorities in life. I'll tell you this, I'm not against them. If you want to, you come live with me, make me a juice every day, and I'll drink as much juice as you put in front of me. It's just that I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into it. I just don't have the time for it. If I were tomorrow to have some serious health issue, you know, if I've talked about that healing pyramid before, and juice feasting, fasting is right up close to the top. I think that's the next step. Juice feasting is just away from water feasting. So I would use it as a healing tool. At some point I may do a long juice feast just to go back and do some cleansing. But once again, the body is always cleansing. I feel like my body is always cleansing, you know, with the things that I'm putting into it. Now the juice though, once again, I don't want anybody to leave this video thinking that I'm against the juice or I don't see the value in juice. There's a lot of value in juice. You're getting those nutrients straight. I should probably take a quick step back and just clarify, when I'm talking about juicing here, I'm mostly talking about the green juices, not the sweet juices, because I do, you know, in the winter I drink a lot of orange juice. This past summer I drank a lot of watermelon juice. But another thing about this is that I didn't look at it like that in the beginning, and that's why I probably lost more weight than I needed to. If I do a juice now, and every once in a while I make juice, I just get a wild hair, or I get one at a place like when I go to Pensacola. But I don't think of juice as a replacement for a meal. I kind of was doing that for a while. I was like drinking my lunch with just juice, and nah. That's all I can just say for me. I mean, I can't tell you this, that, the reason, well, don't do it because of this and that. I just didn't feel that good doing it like that. So now anytime I do make a juice, I just kind of think of it as a bonus. It's like taking a vitamin. It's like getting those concentrated nutrients, but I've already eaten my food too. Because I got to get calories. I always have to be getting calories to maintain my weight. And yeah, man, when I was back in the very beginning, when I was juicing most of the time and making juicing such a heavy part of what I was doing, it just wasn't working for me. My weight was plummeting. I didn't have energy just from doing the green juices, and it took so much time. That just wore me down. I think I started thinking, if I've got to depend on juice the rest of my life, I'm not going to dig this lifestyle very much. But most certainly there's a lot of benefits to juicing out there. I'll tell you one of my favorite juices that I have not had in ages. I used to make a lime ginger blast just because we have more limes than lemons down there. I used to make a lime ginger blast every day. Celery juice, now there's an exception right there. I enjoy celery juice. That just really rejuvenates the body. It's so refreshing. I'll do celery juice from time to time, and if I had a better source of celery, I would possibly do celery juicing regularly, because that's pretty easy. You know, bing, bang, boom. It's through my omega. I've got a little omega up there. Now, carrot juice is something I really kind of miss, and I think I am going to make myself some carrot juice here this next week. I was just thinking about that the other day. But I have to laugh a little bit. I was thinking too, now it's kind of like my smoothies and my other stuff. Any juice I make from now on will be simple. That lime ginger blast that I used to make, oh my God, I had to cut up this, had to prep that, had to do this. Now it's just, you know, if I was going to make a juice right now and you could give me any 3 ingredients and you said, okay, what do you want? Would probably be carrot, beet, cucumber, or carrot, beet, celery. One of those 2 right there. I love beets now. That's another juice I like as well. So there's a place for juicing. You just kind of have to decide where that is for you. And I'm not telling you you should do it like me. I'm not saying that my views on juice are the right ones, but it just didn't resonate with me. It just didn't resonate that you know, I came to this lifestyle because I want to live a simpler, more natural way of living. And when I started seeing that I was, you know, when I had that mentality, but then when I was seeing all this work, I'm like, no, I don't, why should I, that just seems counterintuitive to have to work that hard at a natural thing. So, you know, and I kind of just keep repeating myself here. I will take any juice anybody ever gives me. Now, I make no bones about that. I love juice. I absolutely love juice. There's probably not too many things you could juice that I would not drink. I love spinach juice, you know, like I said, beet juice, celery juice, cucumber. Cucumber can be really refreshing, like in the summer. And so, you know what, you just got to figure that out on your own. But one thing I do want to point out here, like I always say in my videos, whether you're feasting, fasting, cleansing, or whatever, do it if you feel that's what you need to do. And a lot of people like to do these juice feasts to kind of go without food and kind of get a good start on this lifestyle. If that's what you want to do and you can do that, do it. But just realize the juicing isn't a magic pill. At some point, you have got to learn how to eat on this lifestyle. At some point, you've got to learn how to feed yourself. And there's too many people just jumping around from a cleanse to some sort of a challenge to some sort of a this to some sort of a that. I just like to stay the course. I eat very much the same thing every day for long periods of time. Last week I did Banana Island, 7 days, bananas. This week, going really hard on green smoothies. It's just so easy to do it that way. So I guess to summarize, I look at juice as a good form of supplementing. I look at juice as a good way to get in extra nutrients. I wish I had, to be honest, if I had access to better produce, I would juice. You know, it wouldn't be a huge part of my day-to-day life, but I would juice more than I do now, which is almost nothing. I think I've juiced, like I said, I think I've juiced celery a couple of times in the past, I don't know, 3 months or so. But I would just advise, listen, if you're gung-ho about the juicing, just make sure here's 2 things. Make sure you're getting enough calories in during the day. Make sure you're actually eating food, and don't go down that rabbit hole of depending on feast and fast. Ask yourself, I mean, if you've been on, let's go back, like if we were looking back over 2018 and I said, how many juice feast or fast did you do this year? And you told me, you know, at some point I'm like, well, why did you do any more past that first one? Or maybe you need a little maintenance every once in a while. And hey, you know what? Is it people tell me enough. I just forget who says what. Is it John Rose? Yeah, it's John Rose that says this. And I see a lot of value to what he is saying. And so I don't necessarily disagree with him to do a juice feast to start this lifestyle. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I don't know how many people can do it. But that's a good thing, just to give your body a vacation from solid food and get off started on the right track. But know this, if you do that, you've got to immediately learn how to eat. You've got to immediately know where to go from there, because I don't want to see you do that juice fast that you need to do and then always be yo-yoing back and forth. Always be yo-yoing back and forth. I mean, theoretically, wouldn't it, if you really were eating like you were supposed to eat, wouldn't one juice feast be enough? In other words, like John says, like you clean things out, you give your body a vacation before you start eating this raw lifestyle. So really, if you were following the lifestyle, getting what you need, not eating a bunch of garbage, shouldn't one juice feast be enough? And I'm talking longer stuff too. I mean, hey, we're not talking, when I'm saying juicing and stuff, I'm not talking about doing something for 2 or 3 days, because everybody likes to, I could totally see that if I had better produce. It's nice to give our body just a short break, but I'm talking about, the longer stuff, living on it. But after you get off that juice feast, learn how to eat. If you learn how to eat when you get off that juice feast, you won't constantly be going to juice feast, and you won't be knowing, like when people know this, I've said this time after time, where people are sitting there going, yeah, this happens every time on day 3 of my juice feast. They go through detox every time. Why? Because they're going back and forth. Anyhow, just kind of my random jumping around views on juicing. I'm most certainly not against it. It's not a huge priority for me, but there are a lot of good benefits to it. So you be the judge for yourself. Read for yourself. Say this is a good book right here. Juice Fasting and Detoxification by Steve Meyerowitz. So check this one out. This has a lot of good information in there on the juicing, and I think I have something on my iPad, but can't think of the name right now. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.